Okay, so I made a previous video about these thoughts I was having. Uh, so a lot of it was venting, I'm not gonna lie, but there is some truth to what I was like saying. Uh, like it feels overwhelming. Uh, the things that you have to, you know, shut up and take. Like this is life. Get over it. So I was just doing some self reflecting, and you know this video kind of helped me see who I really was, or my last video. But doing these is like it's helping me. People don't have. I'm not expecting people to watch it, but I am gonna document it, like so I know the journey. If it's uh to escape from this, not like entirely, but from this feeling of like institutionalization, like it's you're stuck, and then you've become okay with it being stuck. Like you became the pet, and you're cool. You chill on your rock, and you wait for the food to arrive at your doorstep. Does it like ring a bell? How we appear like pets? DoorDash. Uh, we have our wheel that we, you know, jog in place like the hamster, and sometimes we have companions, but we don't like them. We get into arguments with them. Like if you know about having two pets together, sometimes they be fighting each other. And I guess a lot of that is just naturally being human, but it almost feels like it should be like that because all those things we do, not it's done to us. Sort of like the way the internet is now. Like it changed the human interaction. Like I'm starting to make videos instead of talking to people because it's like maybe back then people would get into fights. Yeah, I guess they did. A lot of people died back then. Now that I think about it, and it was maybe because we didn't get a chance to sit down and talk. And I'm starting to see the pros and also cons of the future, but I almost kind of putting the cons aside for now because those cons have started started to feel like propaganda. Like they want you to think this way all the time. Like it's nothing but bad that's happening. The Epstein shit. Um, you know, World War III, uh, technological advances, AI. It's like they try to overwhelm you with these stories, and it sucks because that's all that there is on the feed, you know, on videos. Like I watch these videos nonstop as well, and I'm like, like, can I get some good news for once? But I wanted to. I'm gonna take it back to the last video, and I mentioned the enemy engineering my defeat. And as I wrote it, I didn't know who the enemy was when I was writing it. I was like, why does it feel like somebody did this to me? Like it felt like it was an outside source that attacked me or like played me, because I know about mind games, mental games. There's manipulation, there's like the gaslighting stuff, uh, which is pretty much lying. You know, and in contemporary language, it's justified lying, so you can get a reaction or something funny or fun out of it. And since when did satire become this long? When did jokes start to run this long about serious situations? I get it. It's satire and you're laughing. And this is just for any topic that you're going through. And I understand we got to laugh it out. It's nothing to take serious. But it's almost like someone someone's humor is someone else's like bad day, humiliation. That's the truth. Someone's good day is someone's bad day. And I've come to another like realization that there has to be more people willing to sacrifice good days. And I'm not telling you, I'm saying I want to be one of those people. Because I've had so many bad days. It's just like at this point, it doesn't phase me. And if people can have good days when I have bad days, I will try. That's the part of me, because I want to do it. It's my choice. I want to try to give you a good day. Because now it's like, to me, I don't have hope for this world uh, involving me. Like it's as if like, what am I to this world? What am I to the world when the world's always advancing, always changing? So I would definitely want to be now. It like if I have to be here, stuck having these bad days, or always be lonely, or having to work for someone's shift, you know, having to be there, pick someone up, talk to someone, or listen is kind of what I mean. Then yeah, like in my last video, I understood this like this thing where people were using me as like a punching bag. And I'm not saying I don't mind it, but I've taken enough blows to realize the only reason it's bad is because of my reaction to it. Like, oh, 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 ah. Like you're getting beat up. Oh, oh. But you ever see those people just like, boom, and it just does not phase them? Because it hurt the same way, like the people who react, like dramatically do. Like, oh, it's the same punch though. It's the same day. It's the same job I go to that you go to. And some people it hurts. It's the same way. It's just some people it hurts more because of their reaction to it. Their reaction to having to get up and go to work, or the body aches, like I was mentioning. And the sacrifice I make is probably, that's what I was saying in the last one. There is an agenda, like to never give up, so that they can constantly grind money off of you or farm money off of you. Now I'm starting to see us being more cattle than pets, but pets is more relatable. Like a lot of people have pets and they don't even think twice about it. But that enemy, I wanted to clear up. That enemy is me. The enemy is me. It was me this whole time. And if there's an enemy, there's you. You against your enemy. And it's kind of hard because there's like three attributes to us: the enemy, you, and what you're supposed to be. And it's like, it's hard because you're given very little knowledge about who you're supposed to be. And it's not no supposed to be like be the world's, battery, like the Matrix, they're stuck in those pods, or be someone's moral figure, because like that's tough to be following stuff like that. Both of those. But who you're supposed to be is only known, I would say to this point, is by your unconscious. Because there is like this consciousness we have, but we're not thinking of everything at once. We're just seeing one thing at a time. Everything that we can see, not everything that there is to see. But that power struggle between me and the enemy lasted for so long. I was against myself. And I thought someone was like, who was whooping my ass this hard? But that, anyways, I was gonna say about that, who you're supposed to be. It's really starting to change for me. It's like I always thought who I was supposed to be was this good character. Like, if life is a story, I was supposed to be this like morally righteous person when there is none, and I could not hold it. I couldn't hold it together. I started to crumble. I started to fall deep in like never ending waters, like a trench, an abyss going down, down, down. And it's funny enough, the enemy uses that against you, who you're supposed to be, uh, by making it so that when you mess up that test, when you're given that option, should I do good or should I do bad? Because it's like there's no right or wrong, but there is to you. You can't get rid of that. There is a right and wrong. There's always two options when it comes to your life, and they're there. You can't say they're not there. That second option is there. There's multiple options actually. Doing anything but that, but we tend to just do it because it gives us this dopamine hit. And when we mess up that test, the enemy uses that against you by being like, look what you have failed. You were supposed to be this, but you failed. So now it's time for you to just give up on that and just be you. And it's like the enemy cloaks himself, or I cloak myself into thinking that what the bad I do uh often, like the bad that I always do, is who I naturally am. Now yeah, there's some natural to it, but it's not what I have to be all the time. Just because I do bad things doesn't mean I have to always do bad things. Like he was like, you fucked up the test. I'm just trying to clear it up more. You fucked up the test. So now that you found out that you fucked up the test, you're not worthy of that. So now, at that point, why bother? You know, it was kind of like what Marcellus Wallace was saying, the character in Pulp Fiction. It's a movie. If you haven't made it now, then what was, you're never going to make it. What was the point of all your past choices? Just seep into this new way of life, of doing this. And I'm here to tell you that is not a new way of life you should be heading towards. Because it's a thing about you, it's an attribute about you that you like, doing the bad stuff, but it doesn't define all of you. It's a little thing, but it doesn't define all of you. It's just a little thing about you. It does not need to be, all right, I fucked up and I really like doing this bad shit and this is who I am. No, you're messing up by defining it as you and everything about you. Like, you like doing the bad stuff, that you're writing the bad stuff on the walls and the ceilings and you're putting it in the books and the videos you watch. You're even like mixing it with the water that you're doing. That's how much you want to define it as you, that bad stuff. No, it's just an attribute. It's just a little thing about you. And most of the time, that thing is there to teach you. That little yang in your yin is there to teach you. And the enemy's pride, my pride, just annihilated me. I genuinely thought I was gonna be this like Jesus level figure, when his like moral righteousness is up here. You see how it's not even in the video? You can't see it. You can't be at Jesus's level. And that pride of us is like, oh, watch me, when we're told that we can't. Like, we're not contesting it, we're making it fact. And even if you don't think Jesus is real or God is real, that similar, even just think about Jesus as a character in a story, that similar sacrifice, or for that familiar that you can even know about, just look at his character, that the ableness of him to sacrifice him is like, I completely missed the whole point. I was mad that life was giving me this and that, kicking my ass up and down the road, shitting on me, like as if I deserved better because of, I don't know, like I could have done things differently. Oh yeah, put me back in the past, like 10 years ago. I bet I could have done something differently. I would have fucked it up again. There wouldn't have been a change. They probably would have went a whole nother route, and then I wouldn't know what the fuck to do in that route either. That pride of me just thinking I was like gonna be there. I was gonna make it. I was gonna be this next mogul, internet celebrity. this new big thing, the next Kanye or some shit. The enemy did kick my ass. That's a fact. But he didn't define the rest of my life. And that's what I wanted to say about the pride is that I think my pride was like I was scared to be the one to like have to live this life, this really sad and lonely life. Like I was scared that this thing about oh, this is who I'm gonna be for the rest of my life, this loser. But no, it's just first and foremost, he taught me to be appreciative of even the little things, and second of all, if I can learn to be okay with sacrificing my life, which means nothing, by the way. I'm not saying that as a like, oh, my life is worthless. I'm gonna just end it right now. Like, no, I'm not gonna close the book up and not know what happens in the end because I need to see the end of my movie at the fucking least. And sadly, some people made short movies. I mean, they probably had a life to learn from. It's short, but you can learn a lot from the people who have killed themselves. Because it's like, it shows you the amount of pain and suffering a lot of people are going through. And we complain about the little things in our life, like going to work, going on the the wheel, the human wheel, the treadmill. I get it. It sucks. It's tough. And there's people who, they get mad at you and they condescend you. They do everything to you. But at the end of the day, if you can get right here in this position, I'm I'm not I'm not trying to like disrespect anybody or be like I have more. I'm just glad about me. I'm appreciative and grateful for me being able to be in my room, sitting down on my bed, ceiling fan to be cool in the summer. Some people don't even have that. And a phone. You know, this, this. I at one point I removed my phone because I thought it was the source of all my temptation. But it was the enemy, He was always going to be there, even if you don't have a phone. But this, I was writing down my thoughts. It was like my only human interaction I had when I didn't have a phone. And to be able to have a phone, it makes things a lot easier. Things do get better. Now, I'll probably make that another video, but I'm starting to get to like these, and I'm able to talk to myself and understand me a little bit more. Because it's if it is helping you, please see it as help. Like I'm helping me help you. Win-win situation. Or vice versa. I'm helping you and helping me too. Like I'm watching these videos and I'm looking back at them and I'm I'm clearing away all the repetitive thoughts I had before by finally having them here for me to see. So I don't have to make a whole rewatch the whole movie back like 5 years ago when those 5 years ago thoughts come up and you're like, well, didn't I already like trip about this and didn't I get over this already? Why is it popping up in my head again? Like this is literally helping me to go through that. And so I was jotting some stuff down. There's this sort of kind of like story I want to say. So at one point I I felt lost, like lost, like like ghost. I thought, the like how is it, you're trying to understand how a ghost even works, or like the afterlife and shit. I was dead, emotionally dead. I got up and felt nothing. My body was just moving by itself, but my mind was done, stopped, halted, stagnant. It was over. No hope was there for me. None. I was tapped the fuck out, burnt out. I was done. There was two things that was gonna happen to me with that feeling that I had back then. I was gonna kill myself, or I was gonna kill people. The reason killing people, and most of the time, is so I can inflict my pain to them in a sort of revenge feeling. Now they know what I'm going through, or at least feeling, even though now that I'm thinking about it or talking about it, it was stupid to think that because one, they probably did already. Why am I tripping? And second of all, it's like I am not being killed. I'm not being stabbed. I am not being tortured. I mean, it's just all inner torture. It's not outer torture. And to the very least, I had that. I was like, at least, I'm here with a healthy, like, at the, able body at the very least. It might hurt in areas and it might suck, but it's just I'm able. Some people are gone, like they're dead because they saw no hope in their body. Like that their body mimicked their mind. Oh, we're dead too, I guess. Like their body was like, "Oh, if our mind thinks we're dead, then I guess we're dead." Might as well just, and yeah, it was intense. It was like anything could have happened. Um, and it's just like I'm thinking about it. It's like, dang, like I was really tripping about some things that now feel childish to me. At one point, yeah, I was really focused on trying to see if God was real or not, or if Jesus was the way. I was like, why is it that this is what I have to do? Why is it that Jesus is the way. He's just some dude, some like you know old, ancient historical figure dude or something. Just like in school, the people, the presidents, and like those public speakers or whatever. Why is it that we have to follow this guy? And growing up, I had that almost like it was like genetically given to me. And yeah, I'm not probably using the right terms, but it's just that's why it felt like it was given to me to believe in God. Like I was born to believe in God. Like, all right, like God's the way. Not once did I like openly question it. But once I started to, my mom and I didn't. They didn't tell me until later that they saw me as a rebellious figure, or they thought I didn't believe in God. But no, it was up to now, or maybe recently. It was up to recently that I was believing in God autonomously, like just just because I had to. You know, I didn't question why. And so I would go down this rabbit hole of trying to find out. Man, that rabbit hole sucked. That shit can kiss my fucking rabbit hole. It was argument after argument after argument of atheism, theologians, something is pacifist, this is moral obligations. It was non-stop a fuckery in my mind. I wanted to find out. I wanted to make sure. I mean, a lot of people do. But then it just dawned on me. It freaking just like, boom. Why the hell am I fucking tripping about this? And the reason being is I needed it to be years of constant trying to find. It needed to be years. It had to be. Like I'm saying it like this had to be it for me to find out that this like I guess advice or the truth. I'm at it again, going down the constant videos. I even went to the library trying to find answers. Yeah, it was like that difficult for me. It was that serious for me. I mean, you can name me people who have, I guess, disproven God, but in the end, he's still relevant. Like you're gonna have to kick him out of all the books, all the pieces of history. I think that's what they're doing at this point. But it dawned on me that I looked back at my life, years I put in. I don't know how many years, but I know it was years, or maybe it felt like it. And I'm like, I'm literally wasting my life trying to find this answer. And most of the time, it was trying to find out if he was real instead of receiving the message. And the message was, hey, you're sinful, you're bad, you're the enemy, you're prideful, you're all the bad things combined. But you're forgiven. All right? You don't need to trip about it anymore. Like when when people compare it people to the Bible, like they're like, "Oh, how can he be of God, or how can God be real if you got the Christians, out here molesting people or something, or you know, racketeering and shit like that. They're greedy. They killed people, Christians, and it's any righteous figure. Everyone is bad. Everyone here is bad. I'm not saying everyone is defined as they're gonna be killing and murdering all the time. No, they kill, they murder. That's just things that happen. Yeah, it's like we're bad, but we're trying to change the yang, the yin. I'm not saying there's a balance, but it's like it can't just be, you can't define us for only being bad people. We're bad. That's it. We're bad people, but we were forgiven. And it's like the message that it was trying to get to me. It was like, oh, you're forgiven, man. Like you don't have to trip about if you're going to hell, if there is one, going to heaven, what's your responsibility, stuff like that. And it bothered me a whole bunch. Like like my mom would go against what I'm trying to say, and it's like it sucks because I have like a part of her in my brain. And yes, like everything we do is sinful. I get it, or whatever, but it's not something we should just give up and need someone to hold our hand all the time. Like it's a bad thing we've done, and we tried to not do it again. But in the end, it's just like it's not who I am entirely. I've done good things. I've helped people. And sometimes those people were at rock bottom, and I didn't need to help them. It's not an obligation, but I wanted to. And the first word of that was I. And if I am the enemy, then the enemy, who I am, isn't an enemy. You aren't the enemy completely. You are a human, you have a name, like Michael, John, Dora. And it's like they fucking define you. These like this the enemy. I that ego. They make it makes it a definition like, oh no, if he fucked up once, he's gonna fuck up everything. Like, no. I might be bad at that one thing, but I'm good at a lot of other things. And like, damn, it was just fucking with me. Like every angle of this I see is bad, but sometimes I forget that the whole message behind the Bible is that you're forgiven. even if you don't think it's real, it doesn't exist. People are delusional. Religion's bad or something, or God was made up. Like, the message still lives here. The message is still here. The message is you're forgiven. Stop tripping and learn to love yourself. And if you can learn to love yourself, and it's best first, like, we put love God, or it's a commandment in the Bible, because it's like this is the one who liberated you from you. Like, imagine big dude is just here, or I'm not gonna go into specifics. There's a little dude, big dude. Big dude's just chilling. You know, he's got big eyes, big ears. He can see, hear everything. You know, it's like amazing. But little dude can only see, hear a very little. And when he feels limited, you know, all the things or all those thoughts and bad stuff's coming into his head. It's like, of course, he's gonna think he's bad, you know, entirely and shit. Like, oh, I'm inferior. But we put love God. I think it was put as that, love God as a commandment, because this is the guy who's trying to save you from you. Because we're killing ourselves. We're like beating up on ourselves, like, and this guy is not doing anything. Anything. He's not hurting us. God isn't hurting us. We just do this reverse psychology thing where it's just like we're fucking our own shit up. This mentality and mindset that we have. But yeah, you should love God, because this dude's doing nothing but trying to help us. And it's like, but at the same time, when he says love your neighbor, you got to recognize it as yourself as a neighbor too. And most of the time, people don't know who they are, and they get to 60, 70 years old. They lived life like a robot. They made choices that were already made before. And I'm saying I want to love myself and get to know myself so that we can actually get some progress going on. And I was so in this fucking thing about, is God real? Can we scientifically prove it? You know, this and that I was forgetting myself. I was forgetting who I am, who little Martin wanted to be. I did not want to be that. A fucking debater. That's stupid. It was like just a waste of time. Because the knowledge now isn't set in stone, or human knowledge. It changes and changes and changes. And I was fucking stuck in that shit. And if I wanted to make or give any progress to the human race, or whatever this like mission is, I wanted to do it my way, not the way that people had. Like the preset that they wanted for me. That destiny. Man, I can't fucking say destiny. Like, I don't know why. It's hard for me. But the destiny that they wanted for me. Hey, that's not my destiny. You know, I had a want when I was a kid, and it was developing at the time, but it became a sure thing near middle school. Like I do want to do music. I want to make people laugh. I want people to have a good time around me. Bring joy. And I completely forgot about it. That rabbit hole bullshit. Like trying to find like if we do, so be it. Like you still have you to worry about. Like I still have me to worry about all these conspiracy theories, about trying to find out what happens in the future scientifically, mathematically, economically. Like we're not there. We're not in the future. Who cares if we can predict it? They have the fucking magic globe thingy orb that can see into the future. Cool, but I think that was the magic of it. Is you don't know the future, so you can make it. And it's not the future, it's your future. Your life. My life. I want to live my life. I don't want to live your life. But I can respect what you do, and I just ask for the same respect. And I thank God that my mom told me to wait. She said, wait 8 years. She said it with like such like honesty. Like it was not a lie. She was not trying to lie to me. If parents are trying to lie to you, it's like they're not. Parents have naturally for years have been just trying to help their children. That like parent child, you'll do anything for that child. I only had that feeling like recently. I saw it. Like yeah, you get mad because some parents let their children do a lot of stuff, but it's just like you give anything for your child. It's just like this natural feeling that comes to you. You want to help them, you want to guide them, and you don't want them to die. And when you see signs that they might, you're trying everything. And my mom, she saw like this thing like I was gonna be eternally damned. But that was only when we were like, really into the word literally, and not understanding the metaphors and the messages behind it. Like my mom thought like just because I watched porn, that's it, you're done. She wanted me to like repent, and I get it, the repentance to stop sinning. But when you make that your constant life, you forget a lot of other things you know that you are, I am, that people are. Like my mom was an instructor most of my teen years instead of a mom. My mom was a father most of her life instead of a mom. And usually fathers are just instructors, They're here to guide you. But there's a thing with being a father that you can show love, fatherly love. Just like you can show motherly love. You can be there instead of always and constantly telling them what they're supposed to or should do. Like, I just want to talk about, you know, what I felt today or what I saw and how beautiful it was. But my mom would always twist it to like, but did you do this today? But did you do that? And uh, oh well, that's wrong. You know, you're not supposed to be. You're losing me, mom. You're losing me. We're supposed to be son, mother, not student, teacher. Like I had my years with teachers and students. That was school. I'm not gonna do that again. But yeah, when she that was probably the most honest advice. Like that was the most motherly I've seen her. When she told me to wait 8 years, keep your faith in God. Like it was like it gets better. Like don't give up. That stayed with me. That stayed with me hard. And I was, yeah, down in the dumps for a long time. And I was having bad thoughts, suicidal thoughts, you know, just planning really dumb shit. Thinking about going homeless, just like giving up entirely. But it was just these thoughts. I let my body keep going, moving, working. It's routine. Because the moment we stop that routine, we don't even get up to go to work anymore. That's when it's over. Is when we give into the suicidal thoughts. We give into the actual no value that you think you are. But meaninglessness is only there because you're not moving. I mean, look at the meaning of a rock, but they're literally still here. But hey, they're getting grinded away to dust. You know, it's like that's it. You know, you want to be a rock when you become meaningless. When you have that mentality of meaningless. But meaningful, the reason you're meaningful is because you're moving. You're making choices, you're making moves. You're going places. You're thinking. You're imagining. The best practice I had of of that like loss of imagination, the best practice I had was looking at the clouds. It was such a like a kid like thing to do, but it kind of like helped me gain that back because I was just like writer's block. I was stumped. Like I was like, damn, as a kid I was able to make shit, you know, like make things up, you know, make these stories, imagine these concepts. But then it started to slip away. And at one point it felt like it was gone. But the moment I looked at the clouds, it was like I completely forgot about that. That's how into it I was. This fucking Alice in Wonderland shit. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just lunacy. It was craziness. And the moment I look at these clouds, or even at like a tree, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give myself a little challenge. What do I think those clouds look like? And I started imagining these like dinosaurs, monsters, these dragons in the sky. I would see fists and like it would be like moving and like people, faces. And it kind of like it helped me realize I still had it, that power to imagine. And it was like I started appreciating just that nature and my nature. And it just goes hand in hand. I was like, you know what? My sin doesn't define me, and I know what I want, and I know I can imagine. So I have to start moving because life is short, and I can't be embarrassed of what I imagine because of what I think the judgment of other people is going to be. It just starts to work hand in hand to create who you really are, who you're supposed to be. But that's what I kind of jotted down is don't be ashamed or embarrassed of what you want. Buy the stuff that makes you happy and gives you this meaning, purpose. Do those things. Feel those things that come naturally, that make you happy. I'm not saying go down the street and like start beating up on people because that's what makes you happy. I mean, there is a way to do that. It's called boxing. Maybe you can get some classes on that. That's like up. You can make that a whole professional thing. But it's like there is a you in there. There's still you in your life. Being here guarantees that fact. If I see you down the street, I know that there's still a you left here in this world making your mark. I was here. Even if you chalked up the answers to being time is meaningless. What are we? And you know what? You were here, man. You were here. You were here. No matter what amount of time or what amount of no time, especially if there's no time, you were here to grasp it. The years that you had here, and they were yours. That blip in the fucking universe, that is fucking you. You did that. You were here. You did the things you did. Nobody could have done it. The universe could be this amazing thing, but being you, it can't be. You are special. You're so special. Everybody is. And I absolutely hate when people cut their life short. At one point, I was like justifying it. I was like, they were going through something immense. And I'm here to tell you that you weren't. I'm probably contradicting myself. Yeah, of course you were going through something immense. I get it. It's just, it could have been stopped. And you could have kept going. And you could have changed into this, to the person you were supposed to be, who you were. And it was almost as if a thief stole that from you. And usually the thief is an enemy, the enemy is you. And I wanted to add that if there is no privacy in this world anymore. Cameras are locked down. 1984, Matrix, Skynet. There is no privacy in the future. Why hide who you really are and what you really like? What you love? Why hide it? Especially up here. Because this is what people are doing most of the time. Like, I'm gonna tell you I love you. Did I say it? No. Because that's what people do most of the time. They're hiding it up here in their thoughts. And if, like, everybody knows who you are and you were trying to hide it, it's just like, why are you trying to hide this? This is the future now. And a lot of people do weird shit in their, their privacy. I get it. But a lot of people are ashamed of things that you're not supposed to be ashamed about. Like speaking your feelings and thoughts. Like, who told you? What lie was there that you weren't supposed to do that? Like, you're going to go to jail. You're going to get tortured and beaten for speaking an opinion. And yeah, I shouldn't be saying that because there are countries in this world where that does happen. But it, to me, is the people around me in America that I'm grateful to be here. But I see people in America who just like are utterly afraid of speaking their mind because they think someone's gonna hunt them down and kill them because we've seen it before. But it's gonna happen to everybody now. That is a little fearful to think, but that's a whole another topic of conversation. But I'm just talking about the things like that. If you feel sad today, express it. If you don't like what someone said to you, tell them and be descriptive and specific why. And don't try to change them, just tell them. Don't be afraid to say it. But it's especially if you really like something, if you love something, like for me, it's music. When people would tell me, like, it's pointless to do that as a job because you're not going to get no money. It just shattered me. I was like, then what am I supposed to do for money? Because making money is more important than your dreams, apparently. When it's not. Making money is to make money. And funny enough, it works hand in hand with your dream. You can buy the things that you need to make your dream happen. Now, I don't know if this is just an adult thing when you get older, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people oppressed in a especially in a country where most of the oppression is happening to themselves. They're not even being held at gunpoint. And yes, I know there's some states where people are at gunpoint and they're just trying to leave their situation because they express themselves, danger awaits. But if it's like we're headed towards this future of no privacy, why don't we just accept it? Why are we fighting against it? If we know it's true, it's like, and maybe I genuinely don't know what I'm saying, but we already are at that point when we express our thoughts on the internet and stuff like that. And I think the if none of that mattered to express it to people, because when I'm at work now, it's like I'm not afraid to sing my favorite song out loud. And if you don't like it, it sucks, but that's the amazing thing about this country is there's this freedom of speech. And I get to be me for once. I don't have to be this like scared, what are they going to think of me person. And that's what it leads up to is if everything I just said is uh, combated and is not true, I know this to be true. There are a lot of people who are not honest with themselves. And they need to learn to say it, at least even to themselves. Just be in a room and say it to yourself. Like you're trying to justify your existence. I love it here. I love it here. I love it here. In your brain. But hear yourself say it. Hear yourself. Listen to yourself. You're going to hear the quivering. You're going to hear the fear. And if you genuinely don't like it here, if you don't like it here, hear yourself say it. Listen to yourself say that. I don't like it here. Because it's like, man, like these people. They're not honest with themselves and then they become robots. They're living what the world is pushing for them. Like, be honest with yourself, dude. Be honest with yourself. Like I said in the last one, it's like never give up. That's just 3 words of the best advice ever. But realize your situation. Be honest with yourself. And once you do that, look up at the clouds if you have nothing left. And imagine. Because once you're at fucking ground zero, there's nowhere to go but up. You're at ground zero, dude. And At that point, you're able to imagine anything and everything. And it's what you want too. Ultimate enough. That's amazing. You can imagine these things. And once it's thought, it becomes reality. And if it takes time, put in that time. And how do we have time? We have space. Space, time. It's just where we're at. Unless you want the world to do it for you, in which you're going to become dust. You're just going to be like, like on your bed, stagnant, and then you're going to wither away. Your heart's going to stop, and you're going to turn into dust. And then you're going to become The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You're going to become a rock, dust. And the world's going to take you. The wind's going to blow you. Like a cardboard cutout of who you was. The wind's just going to blow you and you're going to fall. But if you want your imaginations to become true, you have to move. Get up and go. And yes, you're going to get tired. But don't define that tiredness. Don't make it like, okay, I'm tired. And then you start watching the videos. I've done it all before too. And then the people say, oh, we're all fucked in the end. Why bother even try to make your dream? Propaganda, bullshit, judgment that doesn't mean anything, especially human judgment. Your imagination is a powerful thing. And I want you, I'm going to end it in a bit right now. I'm talking to myself as I'm doing this, so like my future self. I want you to imagine a world out of this depression. Imagine a happy place, a utopia. Imagine it. Imagine what you could do. Just imagine it. Just pretend like you're there right now. What would you have? What would be in the room? Who would be there with you? Because a lot of people are rooting for you and they're waiting for you to get there. And they're holding their hand out to get you there. But most of the time we're stagnant and dishonest with ourselves. And we don't want to move because we defined our lives by an opinion of somebody. Because most facts are opinions. They just are. Things change. Like when we say the ground is, rock or dirt, in the future, just like they found out it's a simulation or something. And after that, they find out it's a bug realm or some shit. Or we're made out of wood. Some bullshit like that. It's always what it becomes because the truth is always changing. Why would opinions be set in stone, law? Do not let these people define you. Like, man, that shit fucked me up for a long ass time. And now I'm free, sort of. I'm free. Like I'm free from that mentality. Every day can be a good day if you can keep it in your mind, a good mentality. Or at least, even that, imagine a good mentality in the future. That good days are coming, imagine them. Because when it's imagination, it's thought. When it's thought, it's word. And when it's word, it's an idea and it's shared. And then it hits and lands on somebody who's doing stuff. And when they do it, they show you it's possible. You can show others that it's possible. I'm not giving you a mission here, like Mission Impossible, crazy shit you have to do. I'm just telling you, hey, like, think for yourself for once. Stop thinking for other people. Like, there's a you that wants to climb out of this bubble you created. So bad, he wants to climb out. Or she. You want to. But we're keeping them in. That was the biggest thing that fucked me up, is trying to keep in who I am. Like, how can I contain me when I guess I'm really eccentric, flamboyant, and sometimes. But I love to sing. I love to dance. I love music. I love to listen to stuff. I love appreciating nature. Sometimes I hold my hands up because it's like I love that feeling of the wind grazing my fingers. And I don't care if people look at me because they're like, oh, this dude's a whack job. He's just like sitting there dude, like I don't know how to express that feeling. The wind grazing upon my like pores. That's how it felt with this freedom. The sweat. It just felt like it was there, like you knew it was there. You were in the present. And I couldn't contain it. And to contain something like that is to imprison like a butterfly or being a pet. You're only a pet because it's a mentality thing, not because it's true. Stop listening to that. Stop telling you that. Stop listening to that. Stop watching the videos that are telling you that. Well, we're fucked. The market's gonna crash. People are gonna die. Unemployment, war, this, that, blah, blah, blah. One thing we gotta learn is the internet is good to realize situations, but is not good to make it our lives. The internet does not define us. There's more to life that you can be, that I can be. And it's not with the cell phone. It's beautiful out there. Take care. Do not worry. Don't panic. Never give up. Peace. Deuces. Love you guys.